Welcome to Coffee Talk. I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is our Cultural Variety Podcast. Stay tuned. Peace, and welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast Show. I'm your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is the Coffee Talk Podcast. How you all doing this evening? Peace, and blessings to you. One of my cameras just went out. There we go. We are back. Welcome. And please throw up that black fist for Black History Month, although it's Black History 365. But we are in here tonight. How are y'all doing? No doubt. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get my other camera on without having to really get up. There we go. We there. So how y'all doing today? How was your day today? Today is Tuesday, February 2nd. It's the second day of this short month of February. But we're going to celebrate it big, you know what I mean? Even though we are 365 days of the year, and that should be taught that way, we are going to definitely celebrate it also by just saying that, you know, it's February, it's Black History Month for the youth. You know what I mean? Something to be proud of. You know what I'm talking about? This is all about you. It's all about your elders. It's all about your parents. And we really want you to get out there and, man, get with some people or just pay attention and open your ears, man, because there's a lot of things that you can learn, man. And I know there's a lot of resources out there. There's a lot of shows out there this particular month. There's a lot of lectures out there this particular month, man. So we just happy, man. We happy to bring all of that to you as we do all the time around this time. You know what I mean? Before we go further, though, I do want to take one moment. Just give me a second. All right, I'm back. This is Coffee Talk Podcast, a cultural variety podcast show. And if this is your first time appearing at the show, we always like to start the show by giving you the flavor as well as the wise words. And the wise words is affirmations, it's upliftment, it's empowerment, it's quotes by our living and deceased ancestors that moved on to the essence. You know, they definitely left diamonds on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So we like to share them through what we call wise words. And also, you know, this is a show that's all about not only learning how to read or build your literature, your vocabulary, what forth, but we also are about health. So, you know, our flavor is typically a health drink or something, unless you catch us on the weekend when it's the grown folks social hour. But, you know, yeah, we just want to go ahead and make sure that this is your great escape. You know what I mean? This is your great escape from being out there in the wilderness and having to deal with day-to-day life, day-to-day struggles and all that. And sometimes you want to just get home. You want to eat something good. You want to relax your mind and you want to just relax and prepare for your next day. Maybe you have to go to work. Maybe you have business that you need to tend to or whatnot. So we just want to be that escape for you. You know what I'm talking about? So welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast. All right. So tonight's flavor here at Coffee Talk Podcast and its 3 benefits. Tonight's flavor is blueberry smoothies. That's right. blueberry smoothies. You should be sipping on a nice blueberry smoothie. If you got some blueberries in your freezer, go ahead and grab them joints, throw them into a blender with whatever else you want to mix with that, and you have a blueberry smoothie. What are the benefits of blueberries? Let's go ahead and discuss that before we start our show tonight. So what's the flavor? Blueberry smoothies, and here are the benefits. Number one, blueberry smoothies are high in antioxidants. It reduces inflammation. It increases blood flow to the brain. It also has a regular consumption that helps reduces blood pressure. It reduces bad cholesterol, your LDL, and it helps reduce the risk of heart disease. The third benefit of blueberries, a blueberry smoothie, is the fiber and nutrient density helps you feel full, making blueberries an excellent tool for managing that hunger. Maybe you're trying to lose weight or something. I'll tell you what, blueberries will keep you full instead of fried foods or grilled foods, where that you could go a couple of days of fasting that will also help you begin to lose weight. So tonight's flavor is blueberry smoothies. Get you some. All right. Now, next is our wise words. And our wise words for tonight comes from two gentlemen. One of them is one of our ancestors that goes by the name of W.E.B. Du Bois. And his wise words is this: either the United States will destroy ignorance, or ignorance will destroy the United States. I'll read that one more time for those in the back. The wise words are from W.E.B. Du Bois. And W.E.B. Du Bois stated, either the United States will destroy ignorance, or ignorance will destroy the United States. I want y'all to go ahead and tell me what your thoughts are on that particular quote by W.E.B. Du Bois by going ahead and put what your thoughts are on that in the comments. Go ahead and let us know, especially during a time like this. I believe that quote is very revealing to the times that we are in right now, as we deal with, with the ICE coverage and things going on in our communities. You know what I'm saying? With the average citizen. Are we thinking critically as to what's going on? Are we being reactionary and we're not really thinking about what's going on? That's up to you to decide. But W.E.B. Du Bois stated, and I'll read it one last time: either the United States will destroy ignorance, or ignorance will destroy the United States. Another reason why I find that quote inspiring, and also something to really sit down and talk about with your friends and family and your other intellectuals, is because there comes a time when we have to take accountability and start recognizing the ignorance. You know, ignorance, especially Black ignorance, is $1 billion industry. And we all have friends that like to show fight videos. We all have friends that like to just send negative frequencies, negative pictures, negative music, negative stories that are very low frequency to us. You know, and we have to get past the point of glorifying ignorance and holding each other accountable. You know, if you don't start to self-check as well as correct our friends in error, then the ignorance will continue on. And if you are near the ignorance, you'll become a part of that. How many times have you got caught in life out there at the street wanting to have a good time wherever you were, and there was an ignorant situation that happened, or you was with somebody that was ignorant and you thought that it was going to be peaceful, and their ignorant interactions fell into your lap, and now you became part of that ignorance. So, again, either the United States will destroy ignorance. We need to get off of that. We need to grow up, or the ignorance is going to destroy the United States. So, man, go ahead and leave it in the comments what your thoughts are on that great quote by Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. Our next wise word before we jump into the show is by my spiritual big brother. And he goes by the name of Mr. Louis Farrakhan. He left a quote. Well, he leaves many quotes, and he teaches on the daily. But there was a quote that he mentioned that states, studying Black history 1 month while reading white history all year is not justified. So you cannot take just these 28 days and study your culture and then go back to ignorance. These 28 days should be a push mark into the right development and empowerment of you changing the way you think. Again, we have to hold ourselves accountable in life. And if we want to save ourselves, we most likely have to change the way we think, the way we carry ourselves, our integrity, our dignity, our purpose. So again, Mr. Farrakhan said, studying Black history 1 month while reading white history all year is not justified. That is the Minister Louis Farrakhan. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into the show. So the show tonight is basically just a bunch of short stories. We're not going to take up too much of your time, but we do want to educate you. We do want you to enjoy the show. We do want you to be able to take something from the show tonight and discuss it in the comments, of course, and also just share it with a friend. Go back to school tomorrow. Talk about what you learned tonight on Coffee Talk Podcast. And the reason why I mention that is because parents, if you are supporting the show and following the show, bring the kids in. Tell them to come on in. You can catch us on YouTube right now live. You can catch us on Facebook live, and just have them sit down, man. Have them sit down. Class is in session. This is a 30-minute show. It's going to be done pretty soon, but we want you to take something from it. We want you to learn something. So tonight we'll be discussing 3 quick short stories. We're going to be discussing Bessie Smith, who's a blues singer. We'll be discussing coffee. And when we discuss coffee, it'll give you an idea of how this whole thing came about with putting this podcast together. And then we also want to finish it off with one of our great professors, one of our great ancestors by the name of Ivan Van Sertima, who was born January 26, 1935, and went on to the Essence May 20th, 2009. So definitely, let's check that out. All right. So as I said, Coffee Talk Podcast, we are a show that encourages literature. We encourage reading. We encourage critical thinking. We encourage building your vocabulary. So tonight's story about Bessie Smith is coming out of a children's book. I'm going to show the book, and that's the best you probably get with my camera, but it's called Afro Bets, the Book of Black Heroes from A to Z. So we're definitely going to share this. Again, this is a kid's book, y'all, but it entails a lot of good information about our people. Bessie Smith was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee. 1894. She lived from 1894 to 1937. Again, this is Bessie Smith, and this is her short read. When Bessie was young, Ma Rainey, the first of the great blues singers, took her under her wing and helped her find a job. Blues is very special music, and not everyone can sing it well. Ma Rainey knew a good blues singer when she heard one. She was sure that the young singer would become great. Bessie sang about things in life that give people the blues: poverty, racism, and love that is not returned. Her strong, beautiful voice was so powerful, she didn't need a microphone. Her songs captured the sadness and joy of many Black Americans. Bessie sang in many clubs and small Southern theaters. In 1923, she went to New York to make her first record. Many recordings followed. Downhearted Blues sold more than 2 million copies. Many people heard Bessie sing, believed that the Empress was one of the greatest blues singers who ever lived. This is the short story of Bessie Smith from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Miss Bessie Smith. What do y'all think about Miss Bessie Smith? Have y'all heard any of her music? You know what I mean? Here's one thing that you can do. Being that you have a phone or a tablet or whatever, go ahead and Google her. You know what I mean? And look for some of her song titles, and then put that into your Spotify or any music source that you use and listen to some of her blues. You know what I mean? This is how you get to know your ancestors. Tonight's feature was Bessie Smith. All right, moving right along. The next thing we want to talk about is coffee. Coffee started to, become popular in the 1400s. And I want to give a shout out to urbanintellectuals.com, who makes these beautiful cards of our history that you can go study. You can actually purchase these online for your friends, family, your children. And they give you a whole history on so many of the things that are within our culture. You know what I mean? Our worldwide culture. So coffee is this. Coffee is estimated that people drink 1.4 billion cups of it worldwide every day. The drink coffee is made from the roasted seeds of berries from the coffea plant. Original native to tropical Ethiopia and Sudan, but also Madagascar, where my family's from. The Comoros, the Mauritius, and the Reunion in the Indian Ocean. The earliest credible evidence of coffee drinkers appears in Sufi shrines in Yemen, dated from the middle of the 15th century. The word coffee has its root from the Ottoman Turkish kahve, which is self-derived from the Arabic kwawe. Legend has it that ancestors of today's Oromo people from a region in Kaffa in Ethiopia were the first to make use of coffee plants, energizing effects after Kadi, a 9th century herder, noticed how excited his goats became after eating the beans from a coffee plant. Some of us, we get hyped when we get to sipping our coffee. Helps us get through the day. You know what I'm talking about? So that is the short story of coffee. Now you kind of know why we have it as part of our logo, because it's bringing forth our people. You know what I mean? Coffee Talk Podcast. All right. And lastly, we're going to discuss, again, in short story form, one of our great ancestors, one of our great scholars by the name of Ivan Van Sertima. Please, after the show, look up Ivan Van Sertima, get your study on, and you will be able to say, man, I know one of my ancestors. And may you begin to build off that knowledge to the point that you will be able to say, look, I know 10 of my ancestors. You know what I mean? It's definitely a great bragging point to have in discussion. And it's also great to be able to share the knowledge and wisdom and the understanding of these great scholars and these great ancestors with our children. Our children don't have to just be rappers and dancers and stuff. We do have Black excellence in our culture, and it needs to be pushed and fashionized. Is that a word, y'all? Correct me if I'm wrong, but fashionable to the rest of us so that we can have something that we can see, something that we can reach for. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and talk about Mr. Ivan Van Sertima. Ivan Van Sertima, a Guyanese-born literary critic, linguistic, and anthropologist. He's an associate professor of African Studies at Rutgers University in New Jersey. In 1976, he published a book, They Came Before Columbus. Great book, y'all. I encourage you all to get that book. Again, the book is called They Came Before Columbus, which talks about our people here in North America and South America before the colonizers arrived, before Columbus arrived. You know what I'm talking about? Before the Portuguese arrived. So make sure you get that book. You also can get that book on Amazon. We would encourage you to get it from a Black bookstore, but however you get it, man, just get that book so you can start building your personal library for you and your children. Let's continue. So in 1976, Ivan Van Sertima published a book, They Came Before Columbus, that features his arguments for an African origin of Mesoamerican culture in the Western Hemisphere. He achieved widespread attention within the African American community for his claims of prehistoric African contact and diffusion of cultures in Central and South America. In 1983, Ivan Van Sertima authored The Lost Sciences of Africa, an overview that discusses early African advances in metallurgy, astronomy, mathematics, architecture, engineering, agriculture, navigation, medicine, and writing. That's right. We were all of that and then some. The creators of science, or the teachers of science, the teachers of mathematics, the teachers of agriculture. So this is what we wanted you to take tonight, is that you are more than ignorance. You are more than nothing. You are more than an addiction. You are a great people. And we want you to know that here at Coffee Talk Podcast. So if you're feeling down, you're feeling depressed some days, I want you to either find this show tonight and rewatch it, or I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to tell yourself that you are great. Don't wait to ask nobody for validation. You are great. I need you to repeat that. You are great. Tell yourself that. Believe that in yourself. You are great. Well, that's our show for tonight. Again, this is Coffee Talk Podcast. This is a cultural variety podcast show where you can come and get some positivity, some good energy, and learn some shit. You know what I'm talking about? And so that's why we're here. We're here 3 times a week. Sunday, Mondays, we alternate each week. On Wednesday, and we also call that cultural studies night, Mondays. Wednesdays is our sports night, but we're not like your typical sports show. We don't really care about who won or lost a game, but we love to break down the different intricacies of what's going on in the world of sports. And then on Friday and Saturday, we like to let our hair down. We like to feel like we're in a lounge, and we like to just talk crap, talk smack, have fun with one another like we do in our culture. So make sure you tune in, find the day that fits you best, or watch all 3 days a week. You know what I'm saying? And also be on the lookout for special guests as well. So tonight, I would like to thank you for tuning in to Coffee Talk Podcast. Until next time, I hit you with the universal peace sign. We out of here. Peace. And thank you for supporting the show. Coffee Talk Podcast.